There are moments in life when the weight becomes unbearable, when you wake up and wonder if you have the strength to face another day. The moments when life doesn't just challenge you, it breaks you. It takes everything you thought you were and shatters it into pieces. And in those moments, it feels like you'll never be whole again. But let me tell you something powerful. Being broken is not the end. Being broken is the beginning. Because when life breaks you, it's not destroying you. It's forcing you to rebuild into someone stronger, someone wiser, someone who refuses to quit. You see, pain has a purpose. Struggle has a message. The very thing that feels like it's destroying you is shaping you into a version of yourself that you couldn't have discovered without the storm. It's easy to stand tall when the skies are clear, but it's in the thunder, in the chaos, in the heartbreak that your true strength is forged. When life breaks you, you have two choices. You can let the pieces lie on the floor, or you can pick them up and build something greater. The truth is, you were never meant to stay down. You were never meant to give in. You were meant to rise, and not rise the same. You rise different. You rise unstoppable. Think about it. Every person you admire, every hero you've ever looked up to, didn't get there without being broken at some point. They had nights of doubt, mornings of despair, seasons where everything seemed impossible, but they didn't stop there. They didn't stay broken. They used that pain as fuel. They turned their wounds into wisdom and their scars into strength. So when life breaks you, don't ask, why me? Ask, what now? What can I build from this? Who can I become because of this? That shift changes everything. That question turns pain into power, turns heartbreak into hunger, turns defeat into determination. Understand this. Life doesn't break you because you're weak. Life breaks you because there's a stronger version of you waiting to be born. The breaking isn't punishment. It's preparation. It's the universe saying, you're ready for more, but you can't carry the old version of yourself with you. And I promise you, when you rise from being broken, you won't just survive, you'll thrive. You'll look back at the nights you cried, the days you thought you couldn't go on, and you'll thank them, because they made you. They built the fire inside you that no storm can put out. So don't fear being broken. Don't fear the pain. Fear staying the same. Fear letting life's blows define you instead of refine you. When life breaks you, stand tall, take a breath, and know this. The world hasn't seen your best yet. You are not finished. You are just getting started. When life breaks you, it can feel like everything you knew has been stripped away. The certainty you once held shatters, the confidence you carried vanishes, and the foundation you believed was unshakable crumbles beneath you. In that moment it feels final. It feels like the end of the road, like you don't have what it takes to keep going. But here's the truth that so many people miss. Being broken is not the end, it's the beginning of becoming stronger. The breaking is not a signal to stop. It's a signal to transform. It's life's way of stripping you of what no longer serves you so that you can discover a new depth of strength you didn't even know existed. Think about the moments in your life where you grew the most. It wasn't when everything was easy. It wasn't when the path was smooth and obstacles were absent. It was when you were pressed, when you were tested, when life demanded more of you than you thought you had to give. In those seasons, you either crumble permanently or you rise with a strength you never imagined. Being broken doesn't mean you've lost. It means you're being called to rebuild, and the version of you that emerges from the ashes will not be the same person who fell into them. That version will be unshakable. You see, most people think strength is built in comfort, but strength is forged in the fire of adversity. When life breaks you, it exposes the raw truth about who you are and what you're capable of. It takes away the illusions, the masks, the false sense of security, and it leaves you with nothing but your will. And in that moment, you discover that your will is far more powerful than any circumstance that tried to break you. You realize that the strength you seek isn't outside of you. It's inside, waiting to be called upon. When you are broken, you have a choice. You can stay in the rubble, believing that you've been destroyed, Or you can use those pieces to build something new, something stronger, something more aligned with the person you're meant to become. Being broken is the opportunity to reinvent yourself. It's the moment where you let go of the old story you were telling yourself and begin to write a new one. And that new story can be filled with power, resilience, and an unshakable belief in what you can achieve. It's easy to think that being broken is a sign of weakness, but in truth, it's a sign that you're stepping into a higher level of strength. Because the person who's never been broken has never truly been tested. And without the test, there is no testimony. Without the breaking, there is no breakthrough. Every scar you carry, every wound you've endured, is proof that you were strong enough to survive. And not only did you survive, you are still here, ready to rise again. Being broken teaches you lessons that comfort never could. It shows you who your real allies are. It reveals the limits of your old way of thinking. It shatters the illusions that kept you playing small. And in that raw and vulnerable space, you find clarity. You find focus. You find the fire that says, "I will not be defeated." That fire becomes your fuel, and suddenly, the very thing that tried to break you becomes the reason you rise. Remember, the caterpillar must be broken inside the cocoon before it can spread its wings. The seed must break open before it can grow into a tree. The metal must endure fire before it becomes unbreakable steel. So when life breaks you, don't see it as destruction. See it as transformation. You are not being destroyed, you are being reborn. The breaking is the proof that something greater is being prepared for you. Pain has a purpose. Struggle is shaping the person you're meant to be. When life throws challenges your way, it's not random, it's not meaningless. Every single trial you face carries within it an opportunity for growth, a lesson, and a chance to evolve into the person you are destined to become. Too often, people look at pain as punishment, as if life has singled them out unfairly. But the truth is, pain is a teacher. It is the fire that forges resilience, the pressure that produces diamonds, the storm that reveals the depth of your strength. Without it, you remain the same, stuck in the comfort of what you already know, blind to the potential that lies within you. Think about the hardest seasons you've ever endured. At the time, it felt impossible to survive. You questioned whether you could go on, whether you had what it takes, yet here you are. You didn't just survive, you grew. That pain carved something inside of you that comfort never could. It shaped your character, it sharpened your perspective, and it gave you the tools to handle more than you ever thought possible. You may not have asked for it, you may not have wanted it, but deep down you know you needed it. Because without that pain, you wouldn't be who you are today. The struggle you face is not meant to break you, it's meant to build you. Every setback, every rejection, every heartbreak is constructing a foundation for your future strength. When you feel like life is unfair, when the weight seems too heavy, remember this. The strongest trees grow in the harshest winds. The greatest champions are born in the toughest battles. And the most powerful breakthroughs come from the deepest struggles. It's not about avoiding pain, it's about embracing it and understanding that within it lies the very thing you've been searching for, your growth. When you resist struggle, you resist growth. When you avoid pain, you avoid progress. Life's challenges are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones. They are the training ground for your destiny. Without resistance, there is no strength. Without tests, there are no testimonies. And without struggle, there is no greatness. The person you are becoming requires you to go through seasons of discomfort, because comfort never produces change. Growth lives on the other side of struggle, and the sooner you embrace that truth, the sooner you'll stop seeing pain as an enemy and start seeing it as a guide. Every time you fall and get back up, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than you realized. Every time you endure disappointment but continue forward, you develop a resilience that nothing can shake. Every time you face rejection but keep believing, you build an inner power that no one can take away. The struggle is not shaping you into someone weaker, it's shaping you into someone unstoppable. You may not understand why certain things happen. You may not see the reason behind your pain right now, but one day you will look back and realize that every trial was a piece of the puzzle, a necessary step in the process of becoming. The sleepless nights, the tears, the failures, the battles, they weren't random. They were preparing you for the life you are meant to live, the person you are meant to be, and the impact you are meant to create. Pain carves out space within you so that you can carry more strength, more wisdom, more compassion. Struggle chisels away the parts of you that no longer serve your future. Together, they refine you into someone capable of achieving more, giving more, and living more fully. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" start asking, "What is this teaching me? Who is this shaping me to become?" Because the answer to that question is where your power lies. You can let the pieces lie, or you can rebuild into someone unstoppable. When life shatters you, when everything you thought was secure suddenly collapses, you're left standing in the wreckage with a choice. Do you stare at the broken pieces of your past, paralyzed by what you've lost, or do you bend down, pick them up, and start building something greater? Most people choose to sit in the rubble, waiting for someone else to fix the mess, waiting for circumstances to magically improve. But the ones who rise, the ones who transform, are the ones who understand that the rebuilding is their responsibility, their opportunity, their chance to create a version of themselves that cannot be defeated. When everything falls apart, it's tempting to focus on the loss. It's easy to replay in your mind how things used to be, to wish you could go back to the way it was. But the truth is, the old version of your life wasn't meant to carry you forward. That's why it broke. The collapse is not the end, it's the clearing of space for something new, something stronger, something more aligned with the person you're meant to become. The broken pieces are not trash, they're raw materials. And it's in your hands whether you leave them scattered or use them to construct a foundation that can withstand anything. Think about it. The strongest people you know are not the ones who never fell apart. They are the ones who refused to stay down. They are the ones who decided that the pain of rebuilding was worth more than the comfort of staying broken. Rebuilding is never easy. It requires energy, courage, and a vision greater than the pain. But every time you take a step, every time you put another piece into place, you are proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you imagined. You are telling life, "You can knock me down, but you cannot keep me there." Rebuilding is not about becoming who you used to be. It's about creating someone you've never been before. The old you may not have been able to handle what you're stepping into now. The old you may have had fears, doubts, or weaknesses that needed to be stripped away. The breaking wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And now, as you pick up the pieces, you're not just putting yourself back together, you're designing a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself. Every piece you pick up is a decision to grow instead of quit, a decision to focus on the future instead of being trapped by the past, a decision to choose courage over fear. Piece by piece, you build a version of yourself that can face storms and not be shaken, that can endure loss and still find meaning, that can take pain and turn it into power. That's what makes you unstoppable. Not that you never broke, but that you rebuilt with a fire no obstacle could extinguish. The beauty of rebuilding is that it gives you the chance to design intentionally. You're no longer trapped by what used to be. You get to decide what will be. You get to choose the beliefs you'll hold, the values you'll live by, the dreams you'll pursue. Instead of living inside the walls of your old limitations, you now have the freedom to expand, to dream bigger, to live bolder. The breaking gave you a clean slate. And while it may not have felt like a gift at the time, it's your chance to create a life that reflects your true strength and potential. Don't underestimate what you can do with the broken pieces. Don't assume that because it fell apart, it's over.
Some of the most beautiful stories, the most powerful lives, the most unstoppable people, are the ones who took what was broken and built something extraordinary.
The question is not whether you've been broken. The question is what you'll do with the pieces now that they're in your hands. Life breaks you not because you're weak, but because you're ready for more.
When the storm hits, when everything feels like it's collapsing around you, your first thought might be, I can't handle this. But the truth is, you wouldn't be facing it if you weren't ready. The challenges that show up in your life aren't there to expose your weakness. They are there to reveal your hidden strength. They are proof that you've outgrown the old level and you're being pushed into a new one.
Most people believe that when life breaks them, it's because they've failed or because they're not enough. But look closer. Every time you've been broken before, you've come out stronger, wiser, more capable.
That breaking wasn't life proving you were weak. It was life proving you were stronger than you thought. Weakness doesn't get tested, strength does. And if you're in a season where everything feels overwhelming, it's because life knows you're capable of handling it. It's like lifting weights. The only way to grow stronger is to put your muscles under pressure, to push them past their current limits. At first, it feels unbearable, even painful. But in that process, the muscle fibers tear, and then they rebuild bigger and stronger than before. That's what happens when life breaks you. It's tearing apart the old version of you so that the stronger version can emerge. It's not punishment, it's preparation. You're being stretched, challenged, and tested because you're ready for growth you couldn't reach without it. Think about every great leader, every champion, every person who has achieved something extraordinary. None of them got there without moments of breaking. They faced rejection, failure, heartbreak, betrayal, loss. And yet, those very moments became the fuel for their rise. The breaking revealed their hunger, their drive, their resilience. Without the breaking, they never would have stepped into the fullness of their potential. And the same is true for you. When life breaks you, it's easy to feel like you've been singled out. You wonder why others seem to be thriving while you're stuck in the struggle. But that's because your path is unique. Your struggle is custom, made to shape the exact person you're meant to become. If you weren't ready for it, you wouldn't be facing it. You may not see the strength within you yet, but life sees it, and the breaking is the process of pulling it out. This is why the most painful seasons of your life are often the most transformative. They strip away the parts of you that no longer serve you. They break apart the illusions you were clinging to. They force you to dig deeper, to find the grit, courage, and power you didn't know you had. The version of you that existed before the breaking couldn't handle what's coming next, but the version being forged in the fire can. Every time you get back up after being broken, you're proving that you're stronger than before. Every time you face the fear and keep moving, you're building a resilience that nothing can destroy. Every time you choose to believe in the middle of doubt, you're stepping closer to becoming the person you were created to be. The breaking is not a sign that you're losing. It's a sign that you're growing. And here's the thing. The very situations you think are breaking you are often the ones preparing you for opportunities you can't yet see. The heartbreak, the setback, the failure, it feels unbearable now, but down the road you'll look back and realize it was the turning point. The breaking is the bridge between who you were and who you are becoming. And though it hurts, it's carrying you toward the life you were always meant to live. The breaking isn't punishment, it's preparation for your greatest rise. When you're in the middle of it, when the pain is raw and the weight feels unbearable, it's easy to believe you're being punished. You look at everything falling apart and think life has turned against you, that you must have done something wrong. But what if it's not punishment at all? What if it's life setting the stage for the most powerful version of you to emerge? What if the breaking is the only way to strip away the old limits, the old fears, the old patterns, so you can finally rise into who you were meant to be? Every time something breaks in your life, it's clearing away what no longer serves you. That job you lost, that relationship that ended, that dream that collapsed. At first glance, it feels like destruction. But if you look deeper, you'll see it was making room, room for growth, room for new opportunities, room for the version of you that's been waiting to break free. The breaking is not the end of your story. It's the clearing of the ground for the next chapter, one that's greater than the one you're leaving behind. Think about how nature works. The seed has to split open before it can grow. The night has to fall before the sun rises again. The ground has to be broken before the harvest can come. Breaking is not the final act. It's the beginning of transformation. And just like the seed, you may feel buried in darkness right now, but you're not buried to stay. You're planted. The breaking is proof that growth is coming. What feels like punishment is often preparation. That's why some of the most successful, powerful, and inspiring people you know have stories of being broken first. They were betrayed, they failed, they lost everything. And in that breaking, they discovered strength, resilience, and clarity they never had before. Without that breaking, they would have stayed stuck in the old version of themselves. But the breaking forced them to rise, to evolve, to step into their true potential. When you're broken, you start to see what really matters. You stop clinging to the illusions that once held you back. You stop caring about things that don't align with your future. The breaking strips you of what's unnecessary so that what's essential can finally shine through. It's not meant to destroy you. It's meant to refine you. The fire you're walking through right now is shaping you into unshakable steel. It's easy to confuse the breaking with punishment because pain doesn't feel like a gift. But look back at the times you've been broken before. Didn't you come out stronger? Didn't you find wisdom you never had? Didn't you discover a depth of resilience that surprised even you? At the time, it hurt. At the time, you wanted it to end. But when you emerged, you realized the breaking had prepared you for more than you ever thought possible. That's what's happening now. Preparation is rarely comfortable. It often feels like the opposite of what you want. It feels like rejection, failure, loss. But in reality, it's positioning you. It's putting you in the place, with the mindset, with the strength, to step into the opportunities that will define your future. Without the breaking, you wouldn't be ready. You wouldn't have the capacity. You wouldn't have the courage. But because of it, you will. The breaking is building you. It's strengthening you in ways comfort never could. It's forcing you to dig deeper, to believe bigger, to rise higher. You may not see it now, but this is the groundwork for your greatest rise. This is the season where you're being prepared to walk into rooms you never thought you'd enter, to achieve dreams you never thought were possible, to impact lives in ways you never imagined.